DJ Linx is in the building.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Hi everybody, welcome to MJ Comix. I'm your host James Mack, and tonight I'm very happy to announce that my guest this evening is DJ Lynx. Thank you for joining us, DJ.
Happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, man. I'm glad I got the invite. Just happy to be here.
No, it's okay. I really appreciate you coming on. If anything, like this series that I'm doing, it's like to humanize like the people watch on YouTube, and to get to know a bit, more about yourself, especially like I've got like a bit of a UK audience, so it kind of introduces yourselves to them. But like again, really appreciative of you guys, of you coming on tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm super excited.
No, and to be fair, I don't know if many people know this, but we kind of like started this the same time our channels did. I remember first coming across your channel through my friend Kevin on Superpower Review. He did like a comic community shout out, and you were one of the featured channels. I do have that clip to play if you don't mind me playing it. Is that right?
Awesome, yeah.
I'll get that up right now. But thank you everybody in the chat for joining this evening. Really appreciate it. But this is your shout out video from Superpower Review with Burke Fam 54. I think they did like a collab on it.
Yeah,
so
Steve. Well, Steve didn't know who I was.
He does now.
Who I have on my list, and I've shouted this person out a lot recently because I just feel like this person has a lot of potential on his channel, and I'm gonna go with DJ Linx. He has 88 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and this guy has a fantastic setup at his house, and he has quite the collection. I almost want to say that this guy could potentially be the next Gem Mint Collectibles. He's got hot toys all around in his background, and so this guy does mystery unboxings, or mystery comic book unboxings, I should say. He does reviews on hot toys because I feel like that's one of his favorite things to do, and he does statue reviews. And one of the videos that I remember recently is that this guy did a review on a life-size bust of Thanos. And this thing is absolutely massive, dude. It's huge and it's crazy. So guys, check out DJ Linx, and I'll put a link to his channel in the chat right now.
Wow.
How time flies, buddy. How time flies.
That's amazing. I was super excited back then when anyone shouted me out. That's when I had 88 subscribers. Now, the next Gem Mint, that's probably the best compliment that I've ever gotten, because Gem Mint was my gateway drug into YouTube. So, I had statues before I even got on YouTube and things like that. And he was one of the first channels that I messed with, like heavy Gem Mint. And that was like I was like, oh shit. And it's funny, I got to meet Kevin in person in May. And it was at the 3 Men in the Basement comic swap in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
He walked in the door, and I was like a little kid meeting, like, I don't know, his hero or something. And I was just like, yo, Kevin. I gave him like a big hug and stuff. And I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, this is Kevin, the dude that kept shouting me out and blah, blah in the beginning. He was my biggest supporters in the beginning. And to meet him in person, I was just like, oh, man, super cool cat. I was legit like a little kid. Like, and mind you, I'm probably like 10 years older than him. And I was just like, yo, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin is that is a really great story. Kevin is literally probably like one of my favorite people in the comic community easily. But so you weren't expecting to see him there, then? You didn't have a clue he was going to be there?
I had no idea. idea.
Oh wow, that must have been amazing.
Yeah.
If I just go.
No, I was gonna say, a couple of years ago, I missed him at Terrificon. So we just crossed paths at Terrificon. So I saw that he was there when he posted on Instagram, but we didn't get to cross paths. And then, when he walked in the door, I was vending there. That's why. So I was able to see everyone. I was like, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, holy crap.
Oh, man, that's awesome. If I just quickly jump in the chat just to say hello to people. We've got John Comic Avalon. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, Jim?
JSS Brooklyn, thank you for joining us. I saw him in Gems Live today, so really appreciate it. Jason Parker Comics, thank you for joining us, Jason. We've got Dr. Von Hoot, thank you for joining us, Doc. We've got Nick's Kicks and Comics, thank you for joining us. He's a really good mate of yours, isn't he?
He thinks so.
You think so?
No, that's my guy.
Thank you, Gemma, for joining us as well. Missed the beginning because of adverts. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'm monetized now, so my apologies to everybody. Ian Carter, thank you for joining us.
What's up, Ian?
We've got Actual Dracula, thank you for joining us as well.
What's up, Drac?
We've got Mark, Legion of Comics. Hello.
I can't stand that guy.
We also have Gem Mint Collectibles. Thank you for joining us, Gem. That is super awesome that he is watching this very tiny channel. Thank you very much. And we've also got, let's have a look, John Bromley. Evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
What's up, John?
Carlito Classico. Thank you very much.
What's up, Carlito?
William Munn. Thank you for joining us and the new sub. Really appreciate it, honestly. Mark has put, he called you the next gem because based on your hobby habits, he assumed you were overextended.
And that's why I hate him, you see.
DJ Lynx is in the building. That's a great saying. Right, so evening, Sammy, for joining us as well. Thank you very much. So the first question I like to start off with is just a simple introduction, really, for the audience. Is who is DJ Lynx? What are you about?
DJ Linx. I guess to start with the name, right? So the name DJ Linx. I've been a DJ, professional DJ since I started. I used to DJ parties. I was 13, 14. That's when I started. I would go with my dad. And then I became DJ Linx, like professional, started a company, everything on the up and up in, I want to say 2003. I might be wrong. So it's well over 25 years that I've been a professional DJ. Everyone knows me from my YouTube stuff, mystery box videos, things like that, in the mix, Fridays at 9 p.m. But I'm just a regular guy. I'm a father. I have a daughter. I have a new son-in-law. My daughter got married recently, about 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm married. I've been married. We got married in 2001. We've been together since 1997. My high school sweetheart. Fun fact: she was 5 months pregnant at my high school prom. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm just a regular dude. I'm one of 5 siblings, so I have 2 older brothers. I'm the middle child, so oddly enough, I got a lot of love from my parents, and then I have a younger brother and then a younger sister, and live in Brooklyn, New York. So we live in Brooklyn, New York. I've been in Brooklyn, New York my whole life. I grew up in Bed-Stuy, which was probably one of the worst places in Brooklyn in the 80s. It was called Bed-Stuy, do or die.
Oh my God.
So that's where I grew up. And in the early 2001, I moved to Bushwick, to this house where I live now. So we moved in the basement apartment, and then we wind up buying the house off the owners.
Oh, wow.
Let's say about like 15 years ago. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with Brooklyn, like real estate and stuff like that, but it popped off like crazy over here in this neighborhood. And yeah, I'm just a regular guy. I enjoy comic books just like everyone else. I enjoy reading. I'm a big reader. I love key chasing and buying big books, but at my core, I just enjoy reading. Like my pull list on a weekly is probably like 15 to 18 books, and I'll just sit there and
wow.
read. Yeah, I love reading.
So your channel has got 786 uploads.
Oh wow!
Nearly 500,000 views. Your first video was, I believe, the 29th of April 2020. Your first upload. So that was during the pandemic.
Yeah, either April 28th or 29th. Yeah. So I think during the pandemic, and why I got into YouTube was I was explaining this to you backstage. Like, I'm a creative at heart. So I come from, is no surprise to anyone, from a video production background. And when I started, I just wanted to keep my tools sharp, right? So you want to be creative, you want to keep your tools sharp and stuff like that. And it was also my escape. So at work, we had the pandemic going on. I was fighting for my job, and I just needed an escape. So I was just like, you know what? I got all these hot toys boxed up and all this other stuff. My friends were telling me for the longest, make a YouTube channel. And I was just like, I don't got the right camera. I don't got the right lighting. I don't got this. I don't got the right microphone. And when I filmed the first video, I saw Wink Inc. open some mystery boxes. So I had ordered some mystery boxes from that Spider-Man booth. And if you go back and watch the first video, it's terrible. But I was happy that I took that leap of faith. And I'm a perfectionist at heart. And
Yeah.
I was far from that in the beginning of my YouTube journey. But it was just taking that leap of faith and showing that, hey, I could do this. I don't need to know everything about comics. I don't need to know everything about statues. The videos were very wooden, though. Pause. In the beginning, if I would mess up, I would start the whole thing over. And once I got over that, I was just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, this is just my therapy. It's my release from what was going on in the world. Because legit, I thought we were all gonna die.
Well, funny you should say about your first video. I do have a image from your first video here. Nice beard. Nice beard. But what I will say, for a first video, that backdrop, like normally it's just, you know, when people do their first videos, it's in their kitchen or dining room. And yours looks phenomenal. And you know, I stand with Kevin from what he said with Steve. Production value, you know, it's really good considering how that's your first video.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been a collector like forever. And when we were downstairs in my living room, I had, you know, my statues all across the living room and stuff like that. My wife was just like, when we move upstairs, like, you can't do this. And then when we got up here, at first I didn't have like those hot toys or those things like that. I had the I forgot what they're called. Are they called? They're like the IKEA shelves. I think they're the Palix, I think, that Gem has. You know, we all stole our shit from Gem Man. Like, come on, let's be honest. Gem Man is the beacon. He's the pinnacle. So I had the same kind of shelves that he had, but instead of Hot Toys, I had 6-inch figures, like the McFarlane figures, the NECA figures, and things like that. And then I started getting into Hot Toys. I went to Midtown Comics and saw the Henry Cavill Superman from the Superman film, and then I got that, and I wound up selling all of my 6-inch McFarlane figures. I had every single Spawn figure, including the variants, every single any line that McFarlane did, including the sports figures. And I'm not even a sports guy. I wound up just that shirt was fire though. Like my Ghostface Killer shirt. That's one of my favorite shirts of all time. Yeah. So I wound up just selling everything in order to get the Hot Toys like that. And yeah, I kind of wish I had more space for statues. I don't have a lot of space for statues. So in that screen off to my left, I had an IKEA Bestas, and those were filled with statues. Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, so I was talking about this to Jem on my last video. Like, I would love statues, but the space, I don't have the space. So if I even attempted, it'd break my heart straight away.
Yeah, and then like right behind Jem now, he has that Legendary Beast Hulk. I think it's Legendary Beast Hulk, the Kirby version, first appearance version. As soon as I saw it, I measured the shelves to see if I could get it to fit it, and it's too big for the shelves that I have. Like, I have custom shelves; these are built into the walls. Yeah, I would get that thing in a heartbeat, like that, and then the Ron Lim Thanos that they're releasing as well.
Oh wow! Dr. Von Hooter said that you're the DJ Benjamin Button. You're aging in reverse. To be fair, I think they do say that about men, though, don't they? They age well, don't they? Men do, I think.
Nah, I appreciate that. I think I carry myself very young. I'll be 45 in January. Wow. Yeah, I carry myself young. I'm fucking rocking a Marvel t-shirt over here.
To be fair, guys, it's the YouTube money. So when we were backstage, there was a team putting makeup on him, trimming his beard, doing his eyebrows and everything. So
no, in the last couple of weeks, I don't know what happened in the last couple of weeks. My beard, all the white, my hair. Now you're gonna see me rocking hats in more videos. I'm just full like gray over here. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I live a pretty like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I live a very boring life. Other than we do go out a lot, but other than that, I don't partake in any vices or anything like that. That could.
I take it that helps with the hobby then, with collecting, then if you don't have any other stuff to spend money on like that.
Yeah, like I've always been a collector of things. So right before, obviously right before the Hot Toys, I was doing the Hot Toys. But before I got back into comics, my big thing, which is more dangerous than comic books, was clothes. Yeah. And I'm a big retail therapy guy. So I work in the city. There are department stores everywhere. So if I had like a bad meeting, I would go and buy a shirt. And I'm not talking about buying like a, $20 shirt. I would buy like a $300-$400 shirt, a crazy sweater and all that stuff. And then once COVID hit, I was just, the pandemic. I said the C word. Once that hit, I was like, I couldn't go to the store to get that. And that's probably why I got into comic books and stuff like that. Yo, Flo, what up? He once robbed me in the middle of Times Square.
Thanks, Flo, for the super chat. That's much appreciated. What's he on about there in Times Square?
So he goes, DJ Linx bag boy here. We were at New York Comic Con and he saw me in action the way I'm just a super impulsive buyer. And I was like, yo, I need this. And I was just buying stuff. And then I ran out of hands. So he wound up carrying my bag for me, which I'll appreciate to the end of time. I met up with him. I bought some mystery boxes off of him. And like, I was at work. I went for lunch. We met up and then he gave me the bag. And then I just like kind of like walked off.
Yeah.
And he was just like, hey, dude, you forgot to pay me. And I was like, oh shit, my bad, dude. Like
there's loads of loads of comments that are positive towards you, buddy. So John Comic Avalon says you're a 9.8.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
What's he only eats bread and drinks water?
My diet is very minimalistic.
That's very like biblic, like Bible Psalms.
Shout out to Jesus.
I've literally been out with you when you were drinking.
That was at Heroes Con, though, dog. That was at Heroes Con.
No.
I can't say enough about Heroes Con. I know Vlogs mentioned it was awesome meeting me. It was great meeting him at Heroes Con.
Cool.
You guys need to make the trek.
That Heroes Con, the footage and it, like everyone in the community's reaction to that, like that looks like the best Comic Con for comic collectors easily. Like I'd love to go there.
Yeah, by far. It's not even like I've been going to cons for 20 years. Even before, like I would go to New York Comic Con and I wasn't even collecting comics. I would just go for the statue reveals.
Yeah.
Like when McFarlane started going to New York Comic Con, and this is when it was in the Javits basement, when it was like you had the toy companies, you had some comics, you had like porn stars lined up. Like it was crazy, New York Comic Con.
Be honest, that's the reason why you were there. It wasn't the statue reveals.
I did. I forgot her name though. I did get a signed autograph picture, and it was so weird because she had, how they have the binder of the pictures that you could choose. So she opened the binder, and all of them are like insanely racy, like crazy stuff. And I think I got the only picture that she was clothed in. I was just like, oh, that one.
Right. So, I saw you last week on a stream. You were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So I know you know all this. You've seen the film.
Mm-hmm.
But this stream, just like Deadpool and Wolverine, there will be, I have to warn you, there will be some cameos. So I just thought I'd throw that in the mix.
Gotcha.
All right. But at some point there will be appearing. But yeah, so in terms of comic collecting, how did you get into comic collecting? Was a certain like shop that you'd go to locally in Brooklyn, or was it like a comic that you accidentally picked up one day and fell in love with? Or
yeah, just like everybody, I think in the hobby, we've all got involved in it, fell out of love, got involved,
Yep.
fell out of love, got involved. I think that's the common story amongst everyone. My brother put me onto comics when I was young. Like I loved the Incredible Hulk show. I had no idea that there were like comic books even existed. So Incredible Hulk was my guy. Like I loved that show. And that's why the Incredible Hulk is my favorite character. Not because of the comic stuff, just because of the connection to the show and watching it with my family. It was one of the few shows that my dad would watch with us when we were kids. I just loved everything about that. And then when I found out there were like comics about it, I was just like, what? So my older brother, he had a few comics, and then he's about to be 50, so he's like 6 years older than me. He was getting out of it, so he discovered Girls, and then it was just like, yo, you can have my comic books. And he gave me about 8 comic books. One was a Batman, a G.I. Joe, some Hulk, a Spider-Man, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And that was probably 88, like 87, 88, I want to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just loved it. And then I kind of collected whenever I got some money, like from my grandparents, my grandfather, whenever he would give me money. Yo, when I was real deep into the comic books, I would collect bottles. At the time, if you brought the bottle to the store, you get 5 cents. I would collect bottles and get
Oh,
$1
wow.
to go to the comic book store to get comics. And I was like a kid on crack. I would babysit my neighbor's dog or dog. And I would be there just like dying, just waiting for her to give me $5 when she got back so that I could go to the comic book store. And that was that. Then I got out of it when junior high school, when start discovering girls, 8th grade, 9th grade, got out of it.
Exactly the same, yeah.
Then got back into it in high school. So I want to say around 10th grade, I got back into it. And then, like I mentioned, my wife was 5 months pregnant at our senior prom. Well, my senior prom. I had to sell everything that I had because I was having a kid, and I didn't have a job at the time. I was still in high school while this was happening, so I had to sell everything I owned, and I sold every single comic book I had except one, which is an Amazing Spider-Man 347, which is my favorite cover of all time. That I actually still have the original one. It's the only comic book that I had.
Eric Larson, the Eric Larson cover.
Yeah, the Eric Larson with Venom with the skull. And that was that. And then I got back into it, I want to say early 2000s when the Punisher Max stuff was going on.
Yep.
So I got into it then again, fell off. And then a couple of years ago, before this go round, because I would still go to Midtown Comics, the Midtown Comics flagship store in Times Square to look at the statues and to get my hot toys and stuff. And then one day, I know I said I didn't drink, but after our company Christmas party, me and my boy, we go in and I was drunk. And I felt like I was doing the dirtiest thing in the world. Like I go in and then I'm like looking and I grab a book. So I got the graphic novel of Crust by Avatar Press, which is a really violent, hypersexual story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I go and I pay for it and I'm like I'm drunk. I'm like spinning. And the guy at the counter was just like, really, Crust? And I was like, yo, leave me alone. This is my first book I'm getting back into. And he's like, oh, okay. And that's how I started with the graphic novels. And I started collecting graphic novels, and I have a bunch of graphic novels. And then getting back into now, because I would join streams and stuff like that. Like, for example, you brought up Steve before, Burke Family 54 Comics. We would join his stream earlier on, and everyone was talking about new comic book day stuff. And me and Remy Q would go on and just try to derail it because we weren't reading comic books at the time. And then I was just like, I need to read some books. So then I started reading some books and I fell in love. This is the most I've ever been in love with comics as far as like storytelling and reading than I've ever been in my life. I think, especially on the indie side stuff.
Yep.
80 to 85% of my pull list is all indie stuff. Whereas like compact stories, the story ends after 5 issues. For me, that's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. Only because the story is going to be stronger because there's a direct beginning, middle, and end to that, as opposed to just like, the ongoing.
Continuing, yeah. Okay. No. Dr. Von Hoot has said that for somebody who doesn't drink, he's heard a fair amount of stories about you drinking.
See, I never said I didn't drink. I do. Oh,
brilliant. JSS Brooklyn has asked, what are the cons like in the UK? They're primarily like cosplayers. You tend to go to like a comic con and then there literally be hardly any comics there. Like there'll be like a real shortage of comics, man. But there are some good ones out there, but they're not as like the London Film and Comic Con for me is probably like one of the best ones in the UK where they get like actual real celebrities come, like a bit like San Diego Comic Con, I suppose, but like, but yeah, that's probably the best one I found in the UK. So I mentioned about cameos. I sent the bat signal out and I said, would you be interested in either saying something nice or roasting DJ Lynx?
Roasting.
Yeah. So I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
But here is the first one. So I will play that now for you.
DJ Lynx, one of my favorite people, not only in the comic book community, but that I've had the pleasure of meeting in my lifetime. As a former Brooklynite myself, he does exemplify the best of where I grew up. And not to be cliche, but he will give you the shirt off his back. And then proceed to incessantly and brutally make fun of you that your shirt is too small until you wish you were naked. Love you, DJ.
So we're either going to have real tears of joy or tears of people ripping into you. I don't know what we're going to get.
No, let's just be clear. Nick said where we grew up, I probably wouldn't be allowed to go where you grew up, sir.
Was it where did he grow up? Was it quite
back in the day? A lot of the things, and it's in the 80s, like you had the neighborhoods, right? So like Bushwick, where I'm at, was a predominantly like Hispanic neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where Nick grew up was like predominantly like Italians, and you couldn't go over there.
Like, couldn't go over there. Oh man.
Go over there. Shout out to Nick.
No, it seems like a nice guy. Nick
is one of my favorite people in the world. Like it's one of these things, and it's like I know we talk about community and all that stuff and blah blah blah, and it's like whatever. But Nick is the big brother that I never wanted. and he comes to New York. We go out to dinner. Like we met at the comic shop. My wife and his wife, I'm sorry, they kicked it off, and they're like super cool hanging out when we get together. Yeah. So it's more than just comic books, like, and that's what all the In the Mix dudes, man. I love all these dudes except Tyler. Fuck him.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of Tyler, he said he's just heard some sad news. The Eternals sequel is officially scrapped.
Oh no!
I mean, the only thing I was looking forward with that is obviously the Black Knight at the end, like joining up with Blade or something like that. I didn't. That was only really. Oh, what the other cameos for what was it? Star Fox, was it?
Yeah, Star Fox and Pip.
Yeah, I wasn't not really keen on what's his name, Harry Styles. Not really keen on. But shout out to Tyler. I find him on Whack Comics really funny. That's a really good YouTube channel. Is.
Yeah, I think Whack Comics is hilarious when Tyler isn't able to make it on the shows.
Right. So what I'll do is I will ask you the next question, which is, what does YouTube mean to you, DJ? In terms of YouTube has primarily been like the first concept of it was obviously like a video sharing for information, DIY, that's what people primarily went for it for. But it's clicks and views. What are your thoughts on, YouTube?
I think for me, what YouTube means to me, it's kind of like my therapy. Like I've mentioned, I'm a creative at heart. I enjoy the creative process. I enjoy filming the video. I thoroughly enjoy editing the video. Like that's my thing. I'm real focused on production value, things like that. Clicks and views, like I'll be honest, if I get 5 views, I'm happy because 5 people were able to watch the content. I'm not even gonna say enjoy the content, just watch the content. But primarily for me, it's just the creative process. Like I love the creative process, and it's not only YouTube. I carry that like when I go to cons. So now like I'll get contracted to go to a con and film and put together these highlight reels. Besides that, it's developing relationships with like my friends and stuff like that, which some of them are in the chat. Some of them is probably going to show up here. I think that that has a lot to do with it. I think like the views and all that stuff, I've never been primarily focused on that, views and subscribers and things like that. I just enjoy the creative process and the friendships that I've made, which sounds like, some sticker people shit. Yeah. But I mean, it's the truth, right? So when we're able to move past just this, right? So this is just our stepping stone into meeting people. And it's not like everybody you meet, like you're going to gel with and you're going to hit it off and all that other stuff. Not at all. There's some people that we share this space with that, not for me. Yeah. Luckily, I was able to find my guys, my In the Mix crew and Link Squad members and things like that. And I think I benefit from that. I also think being in front of the camera has helped me tremendously with speaking publicly, things like that.
Yeah. So increase your confidence in actual real life.
Yeah, 100% increase the confidence. And I think it's made me, it's going to sound mad corny, but like a better person in a sense, right? Because before this, I don't know. I grew up rough. Like I grew up in Brooklyn, like during the 80s. Like it was crazy. And I wasn't always like this guy that you see in front of you. And I'll give you an example. And I think this was one of the big turning points. I was at one of the 3 Men in the Basement comic swaps. This is the first one. So I'm there. This is my first foray into meeting anybody in the comic book community or anything like that, right? So I'm vending there for the first time. So then I see this guy who's a YouTuber, and he's still on YouTube, but he was leaving me some really hateful comments in one of my videos. Like crazy shit, because it's like during the pandemic, everything shut down. And like, surprise, motherfucker, the world is going to open up again. And I'm there and I see this dude who's still active, by the way. And I see this guy, and immediately, like, I see red, and I'm like, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind, this and that. And then I just get hot because I know how I am. Like, I'm a hothead, you know, or was. And in that same moment, No Good Comics, Justin, he comes up to me. And he's just full of love. And he's like, DJ, what's up, man? Good to see you. And right then and there, that's when things pivoted for me.
Okay.
I could have handled that a certain way, the old way, had Justin not been there and greeted me with love and just showed love in that instance. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was a turning point for me. So it's YouTube has kind of made me a better person.
So I on my previous shows, I've tried to say like this kind of feels like a bit like a therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
So the old DJ, what would he have said to that person, that YouTuber? So you can let it out, like you don't, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you. I mean, we were indoors and there were a lot of people around, so I don't know.
Yeah, mindfully be surroundings.
Yeah, I probably would have just, I don't know, gave him a piece of my mind. A lot of expletives, a lot of swear words and stuff like that. But I'm not saying anything about violence or anything like that. Like, that's not me. That's not who I am. But I would have. It's just one of those things because it's the first time I encountered like a keyboard warrior. You know?
Yeah, that was what I was trying to get to. So you probably would have found that they wouldn't have been the same as they are behind, you know, the keyboard.
Yeah, and that was new to me. So it's just like leaving hateful comments was new to me.
Yeah.
Seeing people in person, like outside of YouTube, when we, you know, the world started opening up again, like that was new to me. So this entire process has offered a lot of like new things to me. And you could deal with them in a positive way or not a positive way. I think it would have definitely went different had Justin No Good Comics, had he not been there in that exact instant. I think it would be different. I probably would have got kicked out.
Oh man. So in terms of, again, YouTube, when you first went onto YouTube, did you think that you were going to be joining a community, or was it like at first you were just like, right, I'm going to share my passion, see how it goes, and then you've eventually found this loving community that you're in?
I didn't know anything about the community. For me, the biggest thing was just meeting people that talk about comics. So I didn't anticipate like the interactions like on Instagram, in the comments, things like that, whether it was good stuff or bad stuff. I didn't anticipate any of that stuff. You know, I just wanted to put the videos out so people could watch the videos and I could stay like creatively sharp. But then when the first person to ever reach out to me was Remy Q. Like Remy Q, I created my Instagram account and Remy Q reached out to me and gave me some pointers on Instagram. And Remy Q is my guy. And he was the first person that ever reached out to me. The community aspect to it, I never really anticipated that at all. Especially somebody like me, where I used to fancy myself an introvert. So, you know, I'll go places. It's weird because I was a professional DJ, but I wasn't like the DJ. Yeah, everybody throw your hands in the air. I'm just there to do my thing. To speak to people. So even now, like I'll be super, like if we have like a text conversation, I'll be really terse where I'll 2 words, 1 word, but that's just how I respond. But yeah, I didn't anticipate like meeting like-minded people and being able to talk about comics and shit without being made fun of, right? Because never in my life had I had a a close friend or confidant to talk about comics. Like we always got made fun of for reading comics. Like I remember bringing comics to school in the 5th grade, and people made fun of me. We look at this nerd, and it's and that's what it is. So the community aspect to it it means a lot.
And we'll dig in a bit further into the community as we go on. But in terms of, I've always said this, like every time I've commented on a video or a post you do, I always say how like the production value or like your videos and your editing is just amazing. And like we were talking backstage about your profession and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That I honestly think that really like it's probably one of the best out there in the community.
Thank you, I appreciate that greatly.
Like I said, even that first upload, there's a clear difference to what somebody else's first upload would be in comparison to someone like yourself. But in terms of the community, it's kind of sort of evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Well, YouTube has evolved essentially. So, like I said before, not primarily it's become more social media aspect, hasn't
Mm-hmm.
it? In terms of it just being a platform for videos to go on.
Yeah.
And we'll get onto this in the next part, but there's certain aspects to it where the community it's been referred to as such by an individual as a Zoom call meeting, like. So in terms of interacting with people, do you think that those Zoom call meetings are entertainment for new people watching or for current people just in that bubble almost, if you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think, and shout out to Sticky Goose for the Zoom call meeting analogy. No, I totally get what he means. I think people are going to find entertainment in anything.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what it is. Like for me, I prefer videos that are pre-recorded. Like that's just my preference. Like I prefer videos that are pre-recorded with some effort put into it, some editing, things like that. That's just my preference. I'll always prefer to watch that because I can pause it, go do something, come back, continue watching it, things like that. As opposed to like the live streams. Big shout out to everybody that does the live streams and things like that. I just prefer the pre-recorded content. I'm pretty sure somebody is going to, those foster more discussions because you're not only hearing one person's point of view. When you have a panel of people, you're going to have a discussion, you're going to have more points of view, and that's where you're probably going to get a better opinion on something, especially if it comes to books and things like that, recommendations, movie reviews, stuff like that. But as far as the Zoom stuff, I prefer the pre-recorded content.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, this aspect works just because I think that the audience interaction for stuff like this, because they sometimes come up with better questions.
Yeah, no, they do come up with better questions, and sometimes you'll have somebody that can completely throw it off with something. It also depends on the people that are on the screen, right? Because some people are better in a pre-recorded setting versus a live setting. There's just a lot of things to navigate, especially if you're not navigating the technology properly and things like that. So going into like one of those Zoom calls or like a big stream, there's a lot that goes into it, and things could go left really, really quickly.
I mean, I remember my first live stream years ago, and I had to basically have like a pit stop lesson on how to use StreamYard, and it's so nerve-wracking, like clicking that go live button. And you just being in control of everything. It's just it, but I get like a high off it, like a natural high, like especially after a live's finished, because it's just like you're like, oh, was that a good show, or
it's funny. I asked my wife the same thing as soon as I walk out the room. I'm like, what did you think? She's like, oh, it was funny after we do In the Mix. And I think In the Mix works because we all have like the same sense of humor and stuff like that. We're always on the borderline of getting banned, which is hilarious. It's a lot of people forget about just chemistry. So sometimes people will be like, hey, you want to do a show? Sure, let's just roll out this show. We've only spoken to each other like twice. Like, how are we going to do an entire series on something? So a lot of things are said for having chemistry. And like in the mix with the live show, it evolved. It was a one-on-one interview show. And then it was just me inviting certain people. And that was kind of like a meeting process. And then I finally got like Nick, Tyler, Remy, and Legion to kind of join. And I think like to what you were saying about the nervousness of live streams, my first live stream was for my 300 subscriber like milestone giveaway. I was nervous as fuck. Like my heart was about to beat out my chest. Remy's backstage and I'm like, yo, blah, blah. Like I'm super nervous, this and that. And then during the stream, 10 minutes into it, my computer froze. And it was insane. But now I'm like so used to it. But even when I was in my DJ thing, so I think if nervous energy is good energy, so I've DJ'd hundreds of parties and stuff like that, I would still get nervous before the party because it's all depends on the crowd and things like that.
Of course, speaking of Legion, I might as well play his cameo for you right now.
What's going on, everybody? I was excited to find out that DJ was going to be a guest on this show and for YouTube to be able to get to know him a little bit better. I was even more excited when James reached out and asked if I wanted to help, so I decided to help out. So in order to help you get to know DJ Linx a little bit more, I brought a few facts about DJ's life. Here we go. So he's a big name on YouTube, but not very many people know that he's a tiny person in real life. That's right. Standing at 4'10", DJ Linx is an actual card-carrying member of Peter Jackson's Shire Society. Also, despite winning a hot dog eating contest at the age of 9, 13, and 16, his favorite food group is chicken nuggies. And lastly, to get to know DJ Linx a little bit better, this one hurts a little bit. Despite Freaky Louie being the nicest person on YouTube, DJ is the only person who's ever been successfully bullied by him. It's true. During an epic rap battle on DJ's very own channel, DJ Linx's beard caught a stray from Louie, and his beard's never been seen again. So I appreciate James reaching out and asking. I hope this helps you get to know DJ a little bit better. Thank you guys for taking the time to do this show for us. Take it easy.
Is your man spouting facts there? Are you 4'10"?
No.
Because I'm really small. I'm like 5'6".
We're probably the same height. I'm a good 5. I think it says on my ID 5'7", but I'm in my old age. He was 100% correct about Louis. Louis called me a terrorist on a stream, and the beard went off the next day.
Oh man, no.
So, everybody loves Louis. Louis did me dirty in public. Oh man, that's hilarious. Shout out to Legion. Yeah, this is what Legion is gonna hate me for this, right? So at this past Heroes Con, and Legion is the king of the sticker people, by the way. At this past Heroes Con, we rep Comics Curing Cancer that entire time, blah blah. At the end of it, when Legion was about to take off, and we put the stuff in his car, put the stuff in my car, we were about to leave. We just got emotional, man, and we shed tears because it's just like we've come such a long way. Yeah, where we're not like YouTube buddies anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I was saying bye to my brother that I hadn't seen in years, and we were able to hang out for 4 or 5 days straight. And like he left, and we both got like super emotional, man. So I love the Legion. I've never had a hot dog in my life, though.
Chicken nuggies.
Unboxing videos for the Taliban.
Right, if I just quickly jump in the chat, I can see. Right, we got Sticky Goose is watching, so he's put the entire sticker people community is in here.
What up, Daniel?
What up, Daniel? Nick here that you learn to ice skate. The goose is loose. Tyler's put get out of here, Sticky Goose. You're not a real community member at all. Ooh. Danny Poir has said that Daniel Poir said that he thinks The Eternals is the worst MCU movie. I think I don't think it's that bad. It's not like a terrible movie. It's just Marvel are making content about stuff that people don't really want to see. That's all. You got to watch the Marvels. Danny Pot.
100%.
The anchor being is here. I don't know. Did you see Sticky's video?
Yeah, that's you. I hate watch Sticky's videos. I hate watch. I'm watching it and I'll be there with like a face like, I hate this guy. Yeah, straight up hate watch.
Yeah. Apparently I saved the comic book YouTube timeline by saving him, thus saving Gem Mint. Go and check that out. It is pretty
or ruined.
or ruined. DJ Linx has fire edits. Thank you, VP, for joining us.
What's up, VP?
I
hate watch with all my stickers. Like, oh, fuck the sticky goose. Oh.
Goosey ganders that anchor with a silent W. Oh, thanks, Jason. Jason, did you sell your whole collection for EC Horror Fetish? Sticky Goose started a whole new era of YouTube space, the sticker people era. Right. So that kind of probably brings me on to the next section anyway, where primarily I want to talk about the comic community and where it's at the moment. So it's sticker people or sticky people.
Oh, shit.
I've got to apologize to you here, DJ, because I kind of marketed that. I was of the assumption that when Sticky Goose did his video on the sticker people, after watching that video, and there was a post that you put up about stickers. Let me just grab it.
I am a sticker person.
You are a sticker person. Then underneath, Gem Mint Collectibles, Gem, shout out to Gem. He said the king of them, and I thought. It just went obviously above my head. I thought that he was referring to you as a sticker, the king of the sticker people. So my apologies for calling that out to you, because Sticky commented on a video where I announced that you were coming on saying he's not the king. So I thought I'd apologize to you. I didn't want to.
Nah, there's nothing to apologize about. Gem Mint was obviously trolling me. Big shout out to Gem Mint. Gem Mint is my guy. Like, we speak outside of YouTube and all that other stuff. Like Gem Mint is my dude. So he was just trolling me. Yeah, that was on there. He actually like texted me after Sticky's video. It was just like, yo, are you a sticker person? Yeah. It's funny, but Sticky's video with the sticker people thing, like, that doesn't bother me whatsoever. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not a diss. I totally understand what he's saying though. And there are pockets of the community, like whenever you an extremist in anything, whether it's like, this is the real community, like, that's not good. And then whether it's like you're on this side of the end of the spectrum where you're like, the community sucks, there's no community. You got to find common ground and stuff like that. I didn't take the sticker people thing offensive at all. Like, I actually thought it was pretty funny.
Sam. Yeah.
And it's just funny because if you watch that video, what he's describing is just like community.
Yeah.
It's funny. So I don't think there's anything negative to it. Obviously, not everyone is going to be as open-minded or community-like or like-minded and things like that. And that's like any community. Like, you're gonna get your bad apples, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get your people that talk shit. Like, I've had instances where people talk shit about me and I had to confront them and stuff like that. I've had instances where I said something crazy on a thing and I had to apologize to somebody. That's just all part of the community thing. So I don't think sticker people, yo, Wink Inc, what up, my guy? Yeah, exactly. Like, Wink Inc is literally, him and Gem Min are the reasons that I do YouTube to this day. But yeah, like, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity. People see sticker people as, I guess the connotation here will be like, it's a bad thing if you're a sticker person. It's not. Like, I have stickers. You know what? Anybody reach out to me. If you want a sticker, I'll send you a sticker on my dime. I have hundreds of stickers.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I have stickers. But to be fair, I didn't. I got them done because I was selling at an event, and I was just thinking, oh, it might garner some more subscribers or some more interest in the channel or whatnot, But did you feel like there might be, like you said, like like an extremist? I'm not saying like in that sense of the word, but there is like maybe two parts of the comic community that aren't in that side of the sticker side of it, and then people who aren't or are, sorry, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I know we're all one big community. Sticky Goose is obviously part of that community because he does content creation for comic books, but
100%. I think you're gonna get. It's not just a two-thing, right? So it's not just stickers versus non-stickers. I think everyone has their own like little silos, their own little friend groups, their own little like cliques, and then within that you're gonna have more cliques and more silos. Two people are going to be closer in one group than the entire group as a whole. So I don't think it's really like, stickers versus non-sticker people. I think it sparks a conversation, and I think it sparks interest in the videos, and people watch the videos. I remember, so that one I watched and I was just like, hate watching sticker person here or some shit. I don't know. Like, it was funny to me, the sticker thing. Like, I didn't find it offensive. I took it as an opportunity to be like, hey, I'm a sticker person. Like I said, you want your stickers? Here you go. I'll send everybody my stickers. I love stickers. I love my own stickers. And what happens, like, I do shows, like I go out, I vend, like I'm working New York Comic Con, I'm doing all this other stuff. So I need to have that stuff. And I'm just like a sticker guy. Like, I've always liked stickers. Like, if you look at this is all just community stickers on this is my actual DJ turntables. I just love stickers, man. So
no, that's what, so, but like, for instance, like I'm not saying it's like an exclusive club, but it, in terms of like the community, how does one get invited to join onto lives and stuff like that? How, because you can't just watch a video and go, I'm going to go on that person's live stream next week, if you know what I mean. How would you initiate such contact with somebody? Would it be through Instagram or?
So it depends, right? Because I've had instances where people reached out to me and say, hey, can I come on In the Mix? Now, In the Mix is not guest driven show. So it's more like, this is the fixed panel and these are our thoughts and stuff like that. We might have a fill-in when one of the guys isn't there or something like that. But if there's a guest given show that you want to join, I would advise you to reach out to that person. That person's never going to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to kind of like take the initiative and reach out. And that's with anything in life. Like, you should always take the initiative. That's why I reached out to you. Once you put out that post, I was just like, yo, like, I love to join the conversation and be invited here. I think the majority of my guest appearances, and it's funny because I have a bunch coming up now, like, and it's because of that. Like, I'm like, yo, you know what? I went back. So I'm doing one video a week. I drop a video on Monday and then the live show on Friday. And it's just like, I have time in between. Like, I'd love to jump on a live stream and talk to people that I've never spoken to before on the live streams. But I could definitely see where it's just like an exclusive club, because some people is just like, hey, open panel, put the StreamYard in the link, and that's cool and all that stuff. I appreciate what you did about putting up a post. Like, people see the community post. If you want to join, hit me up.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, I mean, I'm not, I'm only trying to look for the eyes of somebody who's new to YouTube, trying to watch comic book content, and then to come across like such channels and think like, oh, how do I get involved in this, or can I get involved in this? This is, No,
it's tough, and even with some of the smaller sects, there's still gatekeeping.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Daniel I think that's what Daniel kind of referred to in his sticker people video towards the end, when it was more criticism of that. There's still in anything you're gonna get gatekeeping and all that stuff. No matter how many times someone is gonna be like, no, anybody could join this and that, but him. That's still gatekeeping. You know what I mean?
I think it's
SECTS, and I keep saying Daniel because my real name is Daniel, so I guess all Daniels are assholes.
God. You're straight up in this platform for a while and haven't made a real connections, best community ever. That I presume is on about you. Michael, thanks for joining us. Mr. Noti for this, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Vogs 18 has said, thanks for welcoming me to the comic community, DJ.
Yeah, I met Vlogs in person at Heroes Con. Super
Cool.
cool cat, man.
Then DJ was ruled out of Game of Thrones again thanks to Dinklage. Oh gosh, mate.
Yeah, they said I was too short.
Yeah, sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Let's quickly just quote through. If you don't troll your friends, are they even friends? It's true. I kind of compared like Sticky's roast to in the like the in the UK we have this thing called banter, like workplace banter, and it's like, you know, you proper like ribbing, like it is brutal, absolutely brutal, especially in like, you know, like
I watch Gordon Ramsay.
yeah, exactly. Like it is brutal. Some people would, you know, take it completely the wrong way.
Yeah.
But again, it's knowing your audience. But look at his tabletop. He's totally a sticker person from email. Yep, he definitely is.
Yeah, I think with the like with the roasting and the banter and stuff like that. Like I saw Sticky's video. It's just different. Like when you know the people. When you so it's banter when you know the people. When you don't know the people, it's just talking shit. So had he like known everyone and had a relationship with everyone there, it probably would have been different. Like I give everyone the benefit of the doubt and assume everyone has the best intentions. Like I don't think Sticky woke up that morning and was just like, yo, I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna set the community ablaze and all these guys. I don't think that was his intention. But then again, it's not the intention, is the action. I was one of the people in the beginning where I was just like, you know, people need a thicker skin. Like, you know, this is
that's how I was. Yeah.
But then when you watch it, it's did you know me when you said I was bald? I never said you were bald and disabled, sir. I said you were bald and you had a big ass head. And then I asked Rob Fatstacks about like how does he deal with you and the sticker and the bald community, but I never said you was disabled. I thought that was funny when you said, why is it because I'm bald and disabled? But yeah, I don't think like this guy woke up and said, I'm just gonna make this video and get everybody mad at me and stuff like that.
I think did you watch Dragon Inc.'s one?
Yeah.
That was, I think she did too, didn't she? And they've both been taken down. I don't know if that's the similar situation. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw the first one and it was like that style of video wasn't for me. Like I you know, I'm a big fan of comedy. I'm a big fan of roasting and you know, I could be downright mean in person. Dragon Linx for me it just didn't hit. So from a comedic value perspective, it was really, really bad.
Oh, okay. I thought it was quite dry, to be honest, but I didn't think it was in bad taste or anything like that. Or so MJ Comix has stickers from Sticky Goose. He's going to be ever so disappointed.
He said, no!
Jason Carker, we're no longer friends.
What does that mean now that the anchor being has stickers?
Well, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I don't like. Well, I don't really advertise them. I just take them to events.
You have to defend your stickers. You're one of them.
No, what I have been doing them though is when I go to events, I put them on people's long boxes and short boxes. The other sellers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's almost a bit like tagging.
Yeah.
Danny Poor has said, "Where is Jason Parker's stickers?" But yeah, in terms of then with Sticky Goose, I think he kind of gets like he is controversial in terms of what he puts out. It is like you say, you hate watch it. People love to watch it. There is a very like divide in what the people who watch it are. So you've either got people who watch it because they enjoy it, they find it funny, or people that hate it just because they probably you want to be in the know what's going on, really, don't you? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think he gets a bit of a bad rep because if you were a content creator and you put out these videos, have you gone through his comments?
Yeah. So
like that would destroy most people going for those comments. So I don't know how he does it. To be fair play.
I mean, you have to have thick skin, right? So
yeah.
I appreciate that about him, that he's able to dish it and receive it at the same time. So he's not, you know, complaining or messaging me, hey, you called me bald and disabled or whatever. So he's able to dish it and he's able to receive it, which I think is admirable quality. Like some of the comments are, they're like, hey, we're team Sticky all the way, but some of them are just downright brutal. And
Yeah.
I think like I would be able to handle the comments the way that he handles his comments.
Yeah, I think when I interviewed him a few months back, he just said that he just tries not to read them because it would just.
Oh wow.
So that kind of really brings me into the next type of question that I want to go with. But do you think that comic book YouTube will ever be the same? Because I mentioned this to you backstage. I think that we both had channels that started during the pandemic, which was a pretty depressing time. Everyone was stuck at home, couldn't see loved ones. So the content that was being put out, there was a whole new influx of channels being created like ourselves. And so the content that was being put out was pretty positive, like uplifting, trying to get, make people happy. But now we're past that in real life. Now we're past, obviously, the pandemic. We've gone into this new phase of era of life. Do you think that the content that people now want to watch isn't the positive side of it, not the happiness? They want to see a bit of drama, dare I say, or a bit of negativity?
I think whatever people want to watch, they're going to try to find it regardless, right? So whether it's like a positive thing, someone's going to seek out that positive person. If it's drama, somebody's going to click on drama. Drama sells, sex sells. Like people are going to click on that. That's why it's called clickbait. I think we're also in a space like us as content creators where we've been doing it is like going on 5 years and stuff like that. So you got to kind of evolve. So it starts with the pre-recorded videos. The evolution is the live stream. Then you get tired of doing the same content. You want to change your content. I think what's going on is going to be like, this is the biggest thing since like it was like C2E2 and then now it's like BS, like before Sticky and then after Sticky, like which is hilarious. So kudos to Sticky for that, getting his milestone in the timeline. If you want to watch something, you're going to find it. And I think that's why there are like some niche channels that get like a lot of views because if like Freddy, I got a Freddy Krueger statue right here. Like if I want to look at Freddy Krueger stuff, I'm going to look at Freddy Krueger stuff. Will it ever be the same? I don't know. Like you said, people were looking for that escapism, during the pandemic, myself included, and we grow. So it's the same thing with like, if I can equate it to the MCU, where it's just like, we've kind of outgrown stuff like that, where we're more critical, even though they are putting out some bullshit, but we could probably be more critical because we're aged. That's what happens. We're just evolving and adapting to the space that we're in right now. So what happens is, and like the drama videos get a lot of clicks and stuff like that. What I'm not a fan of though is like I appreciate Sticky Goose's videos and stuff like that. Like I like that. What I don't like is everybody leeching off that video and make videos out of that, right? So I'd rather just watch the source. Like I don't need to watch your video, blah blah, like defending it or not defending it or whatever. Like that for me, that's just not my thing. Like I'd rather just go straight to the source.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be completely honest. I did a reaction video about when the roast got taken down, but that my primarily issue why it got took down was because I thought somebody was speaking on everybody's behalf instead of, I didn't realize the full circs of the circumstances. So,
shout out to Comic Journey.
Thank you for joining us, Comic Journey. Really appreciate it. He did a fantastic interview with Jem last week. Was it last week? Was it?
I think last Tuesday or something like that. Tuesday or Wednesday. Comic Journey is one of the. Sorry to blow up your spot, bruh. He's one of the nicest people ever. I've had the pleasure of being around him in person and stuff like that.
He is a fantastic interviewer. I watched the show with Jem last week. That was my first visit of his channel. And I thought that those two really riffed off each other really well. Like they had like banter between each other. It's really good. It kind of, what I'll just do is while we're talking about stickers and stuff like that, I do have a cameo from somebody quite prevalent in the comic book YouTube scene. So I'll just play that now for you.
Sure.
Hey, what's going on, James? It's Jem. Look, man, I'm a little bit concerned with the show. I mean, since you've had me on, it's just really been going downhill. And now you've got this guy, DJ Linx, on the show. I mean, come on. He's got a weak collection, subpar editing skills. Does he even have any stickers? And he hasn't even had a public meltdown recently. I mean, what are we doing? I don't know. I guess, try to make the best of it. Do what you can, and good luck.
So, what public when he said about the public meltdown, that again, and Jem will agree with me on this, is that his most recent videos where he's talked about his personal experience in life and stuff like that, and a bit of drama. Those videos have done exceptionally well in comparison to his usual omnibus reviews and the statue reviews. But yeah, Jem was stand-up guy when I interviewed him the other week. If you haven't checked out that interview, please do. It was fantastic.
I thought it was one of the best interviews I've ever seen on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, I'm legit, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm not just saying it because I'm here. Like, I enjoyed it. Your style of questioning, and like you said, it's a therapy session is really humanizing the person, and it's not just like run-of-the-mill questions. I think what Jem meant for me, which is weird because like I looked up to him as a YouTube content creator and stuff like that. He was my first guest when we did In the Mix. We formed a working relationship where I would edit some of his videos and things like that. And like I said, we talked to each other, this and that. We got to hang out not only at New York Comic Con, like on the con floor, like we hung out after the show. We was like hanging out at the spot, and it was just me and him for like an hour and a half, just talking and kicking in and stuff like that. And we went shopping. I don't know if he's still there, but yeah, like me, him, and Fee, we went walking through Times Square and stuff, and then we went shopping and stuff like that. I didn't buy anything. It's one of those things where it's like a relationship that I kind of cherish, and we go back and forth on the things. And it's also one of those things where it's just like to have mutual respect from somebody that you admire. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, it's like a big thing for me. And mind you, I'm like I mentioned before, like I'm older than a lot of these cats. I may look young, but it's still like, even though I'm 5 years older than Jim, I still look up to him, and I still admire him as a person.
Yeah, no, I mean, that interview last week or the week before, it was kind of almost like a perfect time because he was quite open and vulnerable. But I think that I certainly think that, I hope to think that the community has really responded positively to that, from talking about his experiences with whatnot and everything else, really.
Yeah, and I think it was something new in his trajectory, right? Because we always seen Jem as like the big homie, chains, fantastic statues and all that stuff. So it was a new facet to his persona, and that people haven't seen before. And I think it was eye-opening. I think people wanted for him to expose like all the whatnot stuff and the dirty stuff and what happened at C2E2 and all these things. I think people were waiting for that, especially to hear it firsthand from somebody who was there or somebody who wasn't there, as he said, because he was in the, with Comic Tom and stuff like that. But I think it's like with all of us, it's just another facet to kind of our personalities and what we bring to the table. Yeah. And it's good to see Jem really inspired, like to do the content, to do the morning show. That morning show is fire. Like it's amazing just to see that he's happy again. And it took, stripped away all the bullshit that was bothering him, personal things aside, because that's still going on. At least he's able now to focus and dial in. And I'm pretty sure it was a long time coming, where it's just like you go through the stages of grief, and then you get over it. It's like, yo, fuck it. I'm the best. I'm Jem Mint. I'm going to get back to what I'm doing. And I'm happy that he's doing that, man.
Yeah. It's almost like that Neil Adams Superman cover where he's ripping the chains off. Like, he's free now, and you can quite clearly see that his content now he's just loving doing, and it's back to old Jem, but with a new, new happiness to it. It's really good.
Yeah. And I'm glad you guys get to see like trolling Jem and clapback Jem.
Yeah, don't mess with him. Literally, don't mess with him.
No, because it's tough, right? When you have like all these, when you're a public figure and you have to have this persona and things like that, and when like all that's kind of like chipped away in a sense that you could be yourself. Like
Yeah.
we talk about hip hop, and a lot of people don't know that he's a crazy hip hop head, and it's dope, man. I'm glad people are getting to see that side of him.
But it comes back to obviously the question that we're talking about. You know, comic book YouTube, will it ever be the same? It's like you mentioned earlier that the initial video, there's people doing videos off that, but these videos still tend to do quite well, which is crazy. Like you know, there was one the other day talking about Sticky Goose where I think it got like 6,000 views. Like there is almost like a chain reaction or some sort of, you know, capturing lightning in a bottle, and trying to capture it and keep that, and people are jumping onto that because they realize that it's getting views. Like,
yeah, so for me, I wouldn't want to do anything that's like outside of my wheelhouse. Like,
yeah,
I've always wanted to do movie content. So a couple of months back, I was just like, yo, let me do a top 10 list of X-Men movies because I'm real big into movies. And I did it. It got like 0 views or whatever, but I really enjoyed putting that together and the creative process behind it. The video that you're referencing, like I watched some of it and then like halfway I was just done with it because I understand, you know, sticking up for Sticky Goose or Daniel, sticking up for him, and it's just like, yo, people need a thicker skin and all that stuff. What happens is not all of us react to things the same way.
Yeah.
And if you can't see that, that's kind of like a downside. So what happens is like he roasted you and you were fine with it, but he roasted Mr. X over here. Well, not Mr. X, because that's a real person. He roasted this person over here, but you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know if he said something that was like real derogatory and that triggered something in that person. So not everybody reacts to things the same way. I enjoy, like my favorite comedian is Anthony Jeselnik, who's just like dry and mean, and I love the Comedy Central roast and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But not everyone reacts to things the same way. So just because it didn't bother you, that doesn't mean that it's not going to bother somebody else.
No, that's a very fair and open way of it, to be honest. But what I will say is that, and I said this backstage to you, DJ, like in terms of positivity and the niceness, like you released a video a few months ago at just after HeroCon. You picked up a massive, like, this book is an ultimate grail for many comic collectors out there. And again, shout out to you, how it was filmed and how it was edited. It was a phenomenal video. I've got a clip of it that I want to play now, if that's okay, if you don't mind me playing it.
I will.
That book honestly is, I mean, I had to obviously skip through that video, but how long did it take for him to count that money? To be fair, it would take us all a hell of a lot of time to count that money, but what a purchase, honestly. That is incredible. And that video is underrated, in my opinion. It should be in the hundred thousands because that book is unbelievable.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny, filming that video. So I was bothering that dude. His name is Dale. I was bothering him. I think that was day 2. But from setup day, I was just like, yo, what's up with this AF-15? Blah, blah, blah. Finally, he was just like, I'll come down to this. And I was just like, sold. I just need to run to the bank because I needed a couple of extra thousands. So I was just like, let me go to the bank. So I go to the bank. And then right before we get back to the convention center, I tell my wife, I'm just like, babe, could you do me a favor? Just walk behind me, keep the same pace, and just film me. And
Oh,
she was
yeah.
just like, why? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, it literally hit me when we were about to go into the convention center, where I had this like Grand Theft Auto type thought. And yeah, so she followed me. What was beautiful, as we're entering into the convention center, like Remy Q is there, so I give him 5 and say what's up to his kids and stuff. We go down and you know, go and get the book. He counted the money. He counted 2 stacks, and then on the third one, he was just like, it looks good and whatever. And I was just like, yo, give me a hug, and I gave him a hug. Dream come true, like dream come true. Like when I got home, because in all that stuff we were just Heroes Con, but when I got home, you know, I shed a tear and was just like, I can't believe I'm in a place of my life where I could get this and I'm not in debt. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm super appreciative for everything that I have. And I tell my wife sometimes, I'm like, yo, could you believe this? Like for this room, for this house, for anything. I was like, can you believe where we were? Because there were days where I had nothing, dude. And I would fucking cry to sleep, like be in my bed. And I'm like, I'm a piece of shit of a guy. Like, you know, my wife and my kid, and I'm living check to check. And I think there's anything wrong with that. And it's like forking over my whole check, and I can't enough for a Metro card to get to work. And then I would have to like bring home the office snacks so that I could eat at home. And like my life has been really, really rough, like really rough growing up. We grew up dirt poor. So to be in a financial position where I'm able to get a book like that and things, I'm just forever. I'm getting choked up right now. I'm forever grateful. Like,
no, it's absolutely phenomenal. And again, I know this kind of brings on to the next topic, but the comic book community awards are coming up. And like best, if a category for best editing, definitely you are to be considered for that, mate, because your skills are outstanding, honestly.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I think out of anything, like I enjoy the editing process. Like I enjoy the creative process. I enjoy the editing process. Like I've been a filmmaker like since high school. We didn't have an AV club, and I made them form an AV club. They were like, oh, if you could get 5 people to join, we'll make it. And it's like, so we did that. And I had a job in high school from 11th to 12th grade that summer, like filming people in the school, like just going in and filming people. So I've always had a love for the creative process and filming and editing and things like that. And I'm just happy to be where I am. I'm constantly motivated to elevate my game, especially like seeing like new people like do their stuff, and I just want to like just up my game even more. Shout out to the Comic Book Gamer. So he was in Gems, whatchamacallit. So I went to his in the chat, or he's working with Gem, shouted him out on the Minty Fresh Morning Show. So then I went and I checked out his stuff. Fantastic. E-Man is another one. Fantastic. I'm motivated by those people, seeing what they do, and then it's like, damn, how he did that. Fuck, I got to do this shit too now. Like, or do it better. Like, how can I do it better? Not that it's a competition, but it's just that constant inspiration. Like, I just do that. So it's funny. So I have a couple of videos already, like for the members that are out. So one day I'm there, and I was just like, I'm bored. So I had something that I filmed, and then I edited. I was like, you know what? New theme music, new this, new that. New intro, like I just did everything, like because I was bored and I couldn't sleep, and you know, I'm constantly just motivated by that. Like I just want to be the best. But I appreciate your sentiments about the CBC Comic Book Community Awards. I was a nominalist. There he goes. What's up, Kevin? I was nominated. I'm hoping to be a finalist. The finalists list will be released, I think, on the 23rd, cool. Right before In the Mix.
You've won 2 awards already.
Yeah, so the first year I won for best unboxing, best unboxing video or series, which I'm super appreciative of. And then last year we won as a collective, Comics Curing Cancer. That's me, Rob, and Mark. So we won for Comics Curing Cancer, which was kind of like unfair, but it does fit the category. But being that it was a charity category, I could see why some people were like upset about it. And when they did their live voting, they were like, how can a charity be here? It's a collaborative project or event, my guy.
Yeah. Well, here's some trivia for you.
Yes, sir.
Who won the first ever Comic Book Community Award?
You.
Was it?
Nah, I have no idea.
Well, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
There you go.
People's choice. I bet you Sticky Goose didn't know that, did I?
Wow, stickers and a community award. Your anchor being is letting you down, Sticky. Or
I'm
damn.
sorry.
Wow.
But no, like you said, so it's the nominations and people get to vote on them, is it? The people who have been nominated?
Yeah, so I think the way it works is, Brian had put out a list of all the channels that were nominated. So then they tally the nominations. So let's say like you got 40 and then the next person got 12 and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So because you had the most, you're a finalist. So from each category, they picked the 5 finalists that got the most nominations. So I'm hoping that I'm a finalist in the best editing category.
Oh, no, I'm sure you will be, buddy. I'm sure you do. I think I did vote, and I think I definitely 100% would have done you for that.
Yeah, so, thank you. That's the only one. Like I think like the community awards when it was first brought up, just like a lot of us, like we were just like, who the hell is this guy bringing up these community awards and stuff like that? But then it's like it's his way of giving back to the community. I could see both the positives and the negatives to it.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is he? And then what happens is if it stays within this contained little sext of the community, it's not going to grow. So what happens is if, promote it, make it grow so that it's not only like the same people getting the awards and things like that. So on the nomination list, like I went through it and I was happy to see a bunch of new faces and names and stuff like that. And I'm hoping a bunch of those faces and names make it to the finalist list.
Yeah, I think, but like you said, it can be a bit awkward when like a sponsor or somebody who's announcing the award or whatever, they're winning awards. Like, it can happen. I guess it can happen.
No, I mean, it's super weird, right? So, for example, I sponsored an entire category. So I sponsor the category of all. I think it's just 100 to 99 stuff. So I sponsor that entire category. And then I do the promo videos for when the finalists are released and stuff like that. So I have my hands involved in it from that aspect. So it's kind of weird that potentially a bunch of sponsors are going to wind up walking away with awards. But everything is on the up and up. Like we're just trying to help Brian, and I'm in a position where I could do that both financially and through the work that I do with the video stuff.
No, and I've heard Gem Mint on his lives most recently say that he doesn't want to advertise it too much because obviously he's got a massive following, and then it possibly comes down to like the popular vote, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. It's weird when you're in a category. I was in a category with Gem last year for best statue review, which I don't think I reviewed any statues. I should have been bounced from that category, so I became a statue guy. But 1,000%, right? So if he's at 160,000 followers, I'm subscribers, I'm at 4,000. 1% of his audience, if they vote for him, he wins. So, and I've even spoken to Brian about that. If there was a way to kind of like filter that out and add some metrics where you can hit stuff where it's not just about popularity. But that's gonna be tough. But I think what Brian is doing, it's coming from a good place. Like knowing him and working with him on this stuff and meeting him in person, like it comes from a good place. It's not just him trying to capitalize on the community and stuff like that. He saw that there was a need. He did it before in his previous profession. He wanted to bring it over, and he did. So either on board or
it's a nice concept, to be honest. Really nice concept. We got I've got a couple more cameos because I'm acutely aware that you are going to go and watch Alien, and I've seen the time. I'm really sorry.
I got 7 months.
All right, I'll play them now. We've got our next cameo, which is.
What's going on, guys? Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics here, and I'm here to talk about the amazing Mr. DJ Linx. I remember watching his channel when he first started, and I knew this guy was going to be big. He had charisma. He had great editing skills, and he's just an amazing person who does amazing things for this community. He supports everyone. He does comics curing cancer, and he's in an awesome collection as well. He's out here picking up mega grails left and right like he's freaking Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. Shout out to the amazing person that is Mr. DJ Linx.
Oh, sure. Did he film that in the rec room?
I'm guessing, yeah. I'm really guessing. No, like I said, I put out the bat signal, and I got a phenomenal reply back. So I'm really you obviously are you're well regarded amongst your friends and community.
No,
I've got a couple more if you don't mind me.
Yeah, please. I'll shut up.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We have.
What's up, fam? This is your boy Adrian, aka Pandawesome316, and I just wanted to give a huge shout out to my boy DJ Lynx. Dude, thank you so much for letting me be a part of the Lynx squad. You're just such a good guy. Just wanted to say you're a really good friend, and I know that one day when we meet in person, that you'd be the kind of guy that gives his shirt off his back. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kind of hard because you shop at Baby Gap and your boy a little bit panda size, so. You need to get the weight up, bro. No, just kidding. Anyways, just wanted to say thank you so much for being a friend, and I'll see you later.
Adrian's awesome. Like very much from that video that Kevin done earlier for the shout outs. Adrian was on that. Remy Q, yourself, myself, Jason Parker Comics. Those are the channels that I initially subscribed to. Like yourself, the first one that I ever started watching was Gem Mint, and then when I became part of this community, though, and Kevin did that shout out, that was like you guys have been there from the beginning.
I remember, like, it's funny because I have the video there on my phone, and when that happened, when Cav screen recorded it, I sent that to my entire family. Like, yo, this guy shouted me out. It was like the biggest thing. Still is the biggest thing to me. Like, big shout out to Kevin, man.
Well, I think we've got one more cameo, and then we'll say our goodbyes, or end the stream. But we have this one here.
What can I say about my precious DJ Lynx? He is the perfect pocket size boyfriend. He is just my short king. He is great for the twirl and swirl hugs, and I appreciate it. And he's brought a lot of joy to my 2024. And, I think that he's just great. And if he's going to be our sticker leader, I will happily follow him into hell on this. So, my phone almost slipped. But anyhow, he's lovely. He's great. MJ, I think you're pretty great too. So there you have it.
Oh, my Cliffy.
That was Cliff. Yeah, brilliant. So they all came out really positive. So it's a detriment. It's basically a testament to your charisma. You're a steward of the comic community.
Dang, you're gonna make me cry over here, bro.
Well, I was hoping those clips were gonna make you cry, but hopefully you might be crying in the cinema in a bit.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where obviously we harp on community and all that stuff, but take the word community out of it and just talk about like friendships and like these deep-seated friendships. Besides Panda and Burke, I was able to meet everybody there in person, and they're as cool as they are in person as they are on screen. Cliff, I remember when I met Cliff in person. He was down the hall, and Mighty Comics and Collectibles is in the chat. Shout out to him. So Cliff was walking down the hall. I saw him, and it was like, so I just ran and jumped in his arms. Obviously, I'm short. Cliff is like 6'5", and he just picked me up. And there's a picture of him just like,
wow.
Oh, I'm just like this, like, ah.
I first came across Cliff on shout out here to Pete from Triple G Comics. He did like an interview with him, and I watched it like on the rewind, and like his energy was just like, I was like, oh my god, who is this guy? His energy is just off the charts. It's amazing.
That's him in real life. Another time we were at in Connecticut, and we were at a show, and he Cliff, I don't know if you're watching, that he was talking in front of our booth 3 hours nonstop. He's so like energy. He's like, oh my god, and then the wow, and then the and I was like, I'm gonna do a lap. So I did a lap of the floor, and I came back, and Cliff was still there talking.
Brilliant. So just to sign off, have you got what is next for DJ Lynx? What you got plans for the future, buddy?
So I think right now I've kind of scaled back on the video output. So instead of doing 2 recorded videos a week, I'm doing 1 recorded video a week, and that video comes out every Monday. That's allowed me to really add even more production value to those videos. I'm excited again about like editing and not having to rush anything. If you're a channel member, all those videos are available now. I think I have like I'm scheduled a month ahead. And it's just allowing me to just be like really creative again and being like in my happy place where I'm not like pressured. Oh man, I gotta edit this video, you know, by tomorrow to get it out and stuff like that, where I'm able to like take my time with it and come up with new ideas and change things here and there. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing before we get out of here, Comics Curing Cancer. So that's happening the weekend of October 4th through the 6th. That's us raising money for the American Cancer Society. To date, we've raised over $95,000 this year.
Incredible.
It's truly amazing, and it's all, you know, due to the community and stuff. We've raised over 95,000 this year, because it's a yearly thing. We're almost at 16,000, and that's before we even hit our event the weekend of October 4th through the 6th. And that was because we've done shows. Like I did a show 2 weeks ago, set up all day there. I think I made for the charity like $460, but it was worth it. And yeah, we do a lot of that stuff. So I'm really, really proud of that.
Some fantastic books have been donated. I saw, I think it was Rob Fatstacks put a load up on Instagram the other day. That was incredible. You guys are doing some really great work there. Yeah,
and we're looking for more stuff. So if anybody wants to donate a quality item, hit up the Comics Curing Cancer Instagram. I'm sure I've got something here that I can donate, so I'll sort you guys something out. Shout out to Bueller. What up, Bueller? I was able to meet Bueller in person too. Super cool dude. Like all these cats is like really, really cool, man. I'm pretty sure Sticky Goose in person is a cool dude. Yeah, I mean, I'll be totally honest. I had him on the show. I got on with him. I've got on with him since. He seems to be all right with me. So like, you know, I don't have any qualms with him. I enjoy his content, but I can understand why it's not for everybody. Daniel. But no, I super appreciate you coming on, DJ. You have been phenomenal. I really, really wish I got more time to speak to you, to be honest. So I'm gonna have you back on part 1. I'll be back for part 2, man. Yeah, because I kind of had to skip through a load of stuff because I could see the time. It's like the time was running out. But I'm literally happy to come back whenever you'll have me. Like I'm happy. I enjoyed the conversation, man. I think it's your British gentleman accent. Oh, thank you. Where I live, it's terrible. My accent is everybody hates it, but yeah, thank you very much. No, thank you for everybody for watching. If you're catching on the rewind, DJ Lynx has been fantastic. The chat has been fantastic. I'm so sorry that tonight I haven't been able to focus a lot on it because I was conscious of the time because DJ is going to go and watch Alien Romulus now, so let's hope he doesn't shit his pants. I'm gonna try to watch Alien Romulus. Hopefully, I'm going to make it in time. But thank you everybody for watching. DJ, you've been awesome. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Bye. Wave and smile.